that should give a good basis for someone to walk through. Is any of that lumber something you use, or low tree something you can use?
Some of them are that big, but I still counted it as a tree. But the average is like that.
Pallet lumber for that?
That's all I do. Unless you need a hand crank or branch or something.
Is it weather resistant as well? I don't know any white oaks right now. They're red oaks. There might be a couple of white oaks. And then there's over at Uncle Joe's, there's a couple of dead elms that have been standing there for a long time. They keep dropping branches into the hayfields. Get off the back and move it. And
no surprises.
we like for those this winter, he asked if you could cut those mark bolts and go ahead and cut them.
Every month I say to Kevin, I want to adjust this 3 cents. Why can't I just adjust this 3 cents? So can you do it now? Yeah. Once I give her the finance, and she
Because I know it's been years that I've been holding that crap.
I know. We actually talked about it.
Can I call this meeting to order, please?
Yeah.
And we'll start with the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. I've invited Tim to come and to keep Tim so that he can get in and out of here. I'm going to let him go first. And Tim is going to talk about kind of the status of the Sutherland property work that we've been doing.
This is basically an update for the board. I have met, and the supervisor has met with a representative from the Road Commission, Mike Roper, the manager of the Road Commission. And there is a possibility that the Road Commission would agree to transfer jurisdiction, whatever jurisdiction it has, over Sutherland Street to the township. There's a procedure that has to be followed with regard to that, and we're in the process of exploring that at this point. If the township were to acquire jurisdiction over Sutherland Street, then of course the issue with regard to the stairs and so on could be addressed at that point in time, because the township would then be in a position to expend funds on a street that it in fact has jurisdiction over. There is an exception under Michigan law which allows for road commissions to transfer jurisdiction to other municipalities, such as a township. So we're in the process of exploring that at this point in time. There will be some things that would have to be accomplished prior to the road commission agreeing to this. We are waiting for some further information from the road commission attorney. I've made contact with him and we've exchanged some emails, but he's basically been on the road the last week, and we haven't had a face-to-face or a discussion even over the telephone. But we've exchanged some emails. So it is a work in progress at this point, and it is being explored actively.
And in light of that, I'd like to make a motion that we authorize Tim, or the township attorney, to use his discretion to facilitate the transfer of jurisdiction over the Sutherland Street to Mullet Township. So he would be our representative to do the things that are necessary to do, if everybody is agreeable to that.
Sutherland Street where the boat ramp is?
No.
No.
So I'd like to make that motion.
I'll second.
Is there any more discussion on it? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, opposed? Okay, Tim, then the board's pleasure is for you to continue to handle this and then come back to us when we're ready to take action.
Okay, I'll report back to the board as soon as I have further information.
Great, awesome. Thanks so much for coming too. You don't have to stay unless you want to. Okay, I'll open the floor for public comment. Yeah.
I have several things like this, like you mentioned, I'll try to make it really brief. With respect to the park, as you know, the DNR has installed a post fence line. That is a completed project. The DNR did everything that they said they would do, and I'm really happy with it. I hope you are too.
It still looks great.
The DNR did not pay for the gateway across the two sidewalks. However, that is a job that is completed, and the TDA did pay for the costs of putting that gateway across there. The gateway was put in and taken down for the summer, so it's ready for the winter. Third, as you know, Michigan Links Products has designed, installed, and paid for the improved ADA ramp to the lakeshore. And it's just a great improvement, as you know. It's not 100% done, but it's substantially done. And thanks to Michigan Links Products for that. Third, the wintertime gates to the stairway, at the top of the stairway and at the bottom of the stairway, they have been custom designed. They've been installed and removed for the winter. That also is a completed project, and when you actually physically see it, I think you're going to like it. You're not going to know that it wasn't designed at the original time. There are two payments. The second and final payment to the supplier has been paid by the TDA.
Oh, great.
Another thing I want to mention to you is at the patio, on the patio, in the 1 foot wide area between the fence and the railing and the wall that goes down to the playground. In that area, there is a 1 foot wide planter, place for plantings. There, I don't know if it was ever filled with flowers or seeds or anything, but what has been there is weeds. Right now, it's the only thing that's there is dirt. I would suggest that we put something there, plant a perennial like sedum, and that would cover that area, keep it green year round, and maybe with some little flowers on them. I guess I would ask your permission to do that. If you like to do that, I would go to the TDA board and see if they would pay for that, and we'll see if we get some volunteers to physically put them in.
It's really okay. I don't think that takes a motion. I think that'd be great. Do you want to talk about the wildflowers too? We've never really talked about what we've done with that.
The wildflowers, the beautiful wildflowers. The wildflowers, as you know, are in the steeply sloped area where we didn't want to mow. And some people love the wild appearance. Most people hate the weeds. I think that we've been patient long enough. I think we can conclude that whatever the architects, designers have intended is, well, it didn't work, or at least it didn't work to the satisfaction of most of the citizens. And at least we're not most of us are not satisfied with it. A local master gardener has been out and looked at it, made some suggestions. First of all, to kill the vegetation that's there right now before it goes to seed, because those seeds will go everywhere, including in the patio, or not the patio, the terrace gardens. Suggestion was to kill it, mow it down, remove the vegetation, and that part has been done, and leave the existing, now dead root system in place so that it doesn't erode the soil, and then reseed as soon as possible. And I would suggest that be done, yes, as soon as possible, so that we can have the entire fall growing season for the seeds to come up.
Yeah, Hobie killed it, and then Cottage Care mowed it down. And I forgot about the reseeding, so I'll have Hobie reseed it this week.
Can I ask you a question, David?
Yeah.
With regards to the sprinkler system,
The sprinkler system.
how often does that run?
Every day for about, I'm not sure, it was running for, I think, about 8 or 10 minutes, and then a couple of weeks ago we changed it to 20 minutes a day.
Is that the
And it does
location
work.
we're going to be reseeding? Is that the location it would hit, or?
Oh, yeah, I mean, the entire area
Okay.
is watered every day. Well, it's never watered if it's raining, there's a sensor system on it.
Nice. Okay. I just wanted, I saw that it looks kind of dead down there, and I didn't know how often our water system was working.
It was increased from 8 or 10 minutes to, I think, it was changed to 20 for that reason.
Okay.
It actually, because I live next door, it didn't really start until midsummer. The sprinklers were not operational until like after the 4th of July, so that would be in part why things are a little dry.
Thanks, David.
Thank you.
So I think you'll take care of the planter with the TDA, and if they aren't willing to do it, then just come back to us. Right? Okay, and then I'll talk to Hobie about the reseed. Is there a certain kind of a grass that was planted down there? What kind of grass mixture, do you know?
Yeah, in the rest of the lawn, the exact mix, I don't know. It was a combination of Kentucky bluegrass and the various typical kinds of seeds that are planted, and I can't come up with the name of them off the top of my head.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay, great. Any other questions on that? Okay, any other public comment? Yeah, Karen.
I'm here on behalf of Willard. He's at the township meeting for Inverness to remind everybody he's running for commissioner in November. So we'd like to have your support. Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah.
I'd like to save my comments after you present what's happening at the boat ramp, if I can maybe fill in a little bit more on it, if that's okay with you.
It's fine. I have very limited comments about the boat ramp.
So do I. Nothing's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd just like to comment on the wildflower situation there, which and I understand Hobie sprayed the defoliant on there or whatever, but normally when herbicide application is done, there were quite a number of people concerned about what was being sprayed around the park without any signs up or anything as to what was being sprayed on the weeds. Mm-hmm. And one lady I know commented that she saw some of these dogs rolling around in the stuff, and there were children running around through the stuff. And I think we should probably look at if we're spraying herbicides in a public area, that it be done by a licensed applicator, so that the liability is on them rather than on the township. That stuff is dead down there. I mean, I don't know if the board has had a look.
It was
today.
Roundup. It was Roundup. Just
yeah, but at what rate of application is my question?
It was a concentrated Roundup, I think 5 to 1.
How many gallons per 100 square feet though is the thing? Because I mean, that stuff was waist high, and I mean, It is dead to the ground. All the stuff around the brick, which needed to be killed, obviously. I mean, that has been sprayed before with Roundup, and it never killed it to this extent. I mean, it looks like Agent Orange down there. So I mean, just so that you are aware of the liability next time.
Yeah, thank you. Any other comments? Public comment? Okay, we'll close the public comment. And we'll go to approval of the minutes for the August 4th special meeting.
The minutes were not given to me tonight, and I never got a chance to go online and read them, so.
Okay.
Do you want me to read them?
Yeah.
Mullet Township Board of Trustees met at Mullet Township Hall in Topinabee, Michigan on August 4th, 2014. The following board members were in attendance: Marianne Gale, Rachel Osborn, and Kathy Flory. John Brown and Dennis Dombrowski were excused. Supervisor Gale called the meeting to order, along with leading the pledge. The purpose of the meeting was to get a maintenance person and or company hired to do work for Mullet Township. On a motion by Marianne Gale to hire Home Solutions owned by Hobie Kirsch to do the general maintenance for Mullet Township, seconded by Rachel Osborn, with the fact that Hobie Kirsch will be paid as a regular employee under the Mullet Township insurance for the first 2 days, Sunday, August 3rd and August 4th. As of August 5th, Home Solution will present all liability insurance with Mullet Township as additionally insured. Motion passed. Marianne Gale made a motion to pay Home Solution a rate of $13 an hour to be figured into an invoice which will be given to the clerk bi-weekly based on the various departments where the company performed the work. A review after 90 days will be executed by the Mullet Township Board of Trustees to determine a change in payment. Second by Kathy Flory. Motion passed. By a consensus agreement, the supervisor will be responsible for all work done in Mullet Township. All board members may let the supervisor know of any work that needs to be done and any work that hasn't been done by the company, and she will then contact Home Solutions to make them aware of existing work to be done. The clerk will arrange all paperwork for the pay periods and keep records of insurance for Home Solutions. A public comment was Carl Muscott and Eve Crawford. The meeting was adjourned at 1:50 p.m. Respectfully submitted, Rachel Osborn, Mullet Township Clerk.
Do you have a motion to approve the minutes of August 4th special meeting?
I'll make that motion unless someone has some corrections.
And I'll support it.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Approval of minutes for August 12th. I assume we're in the same situation there, John?
Yeah.
Could you read that, Rachel?
The Mullet Township Board of Trustees met at the Mullet Township Hall in Topinabee, Michigan at 7 p.m. on August 12th. All board members were present. The meeting was opened at 7 p.m. by Supervisor Gale and Trustee Dombrowski leading the Pledge of Allegiance. Public comment was opened at 7:01. The Enbridge companies presented a grant for $1,000 to the East Mullet Fire Department. Mullet Township extends a thank you for their generous gift to the township. Public comment was closed at 7:04. Minutes of July 1 meeting were approved with the correction of highest bidder to lowest qualified bidder for the bid awarded to Environmental Excavating Company by John Brown, second by Kathy Flory. Motion passed. The treasurer's report was the general fund has $568,975.73. The fire fund $477,499.43. Liquor fund $164.49. The light fund $34,379.72. Library fund $50,590.10 with a total of $131,609. Patty King, Director of the Topinabee Public Library, gave a report on the progress of the library and the fact that the e-books program has been very successful. The busiest month was July with over 1,400 patrons using some form of the library services. Also, Ann Cleva, the assistant librarian, is very successful in her new position, having just completed her probationary period. Complete report from her is with the minutes. On a motion by Dennis Dombrowski, the township will purchase a notary public commission for Ann Cleva, second by Kathy Flory. Motion passed. Rachel Osborn made a motion to compensate Ann Cleveland with a raise of $10 per hour to start on August 18th, with a second by John Brown. Motion passed. Bob Snyder and Penny Snyder made a presentation to the board regarding the Woodruff boat ramp to be installed by the Cheboygan County Road Commission. The suggestions are as follows. Docks to fit in the existing property lines. Docks need to sit on concrete pad, and they would like to have the turnaround to remain. They brought a petition to the board, which was signed by 22 constituents supporting the above suggestions. Mary and Gail will be talking to Mike Roper on August 13th regarding these changes and presenting the petition to the Cheboygan County Road Commission. Copies of the petition will be in the minutes. Sutherland property issues were tabled until more information can be obtained. A discussion of a new rental agreement for the Mullet Township Board was entered into by the board with a consensus. We will clarify the wording as to private meaning, according to check with the attorney. On a motion by Kathy Flory to accept the newly formed committee for the streetscape parking lot project for the following members. Kathy Haddon, Jeff Comps, Kim Wilkins, Dennis Dombrowski, Tom O'Hare, Mary O'Hare will be the secretary, and Rachel Osborn chairperson, second by John Brown. Motion passed. There will need to be a bid put out for tree trimming in the old schoolhouse area and also the Boy Scout Park area. A marking system will need to be developed so those bids will be fairly notified of the trees that need attention. John Brown will mark the trees in Boy Scout Park. Perhaps Hobie will mark the trees in the old schoolhouse area. Mary and Gay will follow up on this project. A discussion ensued concerning the usage of the Quonset hut for storage in the winter months for park inventory with a lock, which means no one could use in the winter. Mary Ann Gale to check with the Cheboygan County Commissioners whether they would agree to this closing of the hut or whether they would rather see it open for all year round. An answer will be forthcoming. A new bid will be written for the removal of docks, buoys, seagull prevention poles, Moby mats, repair of docks after removal and thaw, and placing in the spring for both the Topinabee Beach area, Woodruff dock area, and Boy Scout Park area. All bidders will be bidding by section and the number of buoys to be placed and removed for the season. On a motion by Kathy Flory to move $700 from the 101 general fund to the 212 liquor fund in order to keep the inspections in place, seconded by Dennis Browski, and the motion was passed. Because the TAP grant does not cover parking lot, which is in part of the streetscape plans, there will need to be a separate grant, which could possibly be obtained from the Michigan Department of Natural Resources Trust Fund. Rachel Osborn will be checking with Ann Kleba, who is a grant writer, on whether she has the experience or would be interested in helping the township in writing of a grant application to MDNRTF for the parking lot area. Because the DNR has approved an application for a permit at Boy Scout Park for a total of 12 buoys to mark the swimming area, we'll need to approve an additional purchase of 6 buoys to Michigan Lake Products to be put on order immediately for the 2015 summer season. Motion by Kathy Flory and seconded by Dennis Dombrowski. Motion passed. The drawing which was returned from DNR concerning the swim area at Boy Scout Park will need to be clarified as to the exact area to be covered by swim buoys. And also the depth of water will need to be checked out to make sure that we do have the buoys in a safe area on the lake. Rachel Osborn to check with the district supervisor and seek his opinion of same. On a motion by Kathy Flory to make budget adjustment of $500 to the line item of 101-528931 for cleanup days in order to process payments, second by Dennis Dombrowski. Motion passed. Motion by John Brown to pay Michigan Lake Products $732 per chain, which was used in the Topinabee Beach Park to repair the chain to use to hold the buoys in place, second by Mary Ann. Motion passed. Motion by John Brown to pay the bills, seconded by Dennis Dombrowski. Motion passed. Meeting adjourned at 8:50. Respectfully submitted, Rachel Osborn, Mullet Township Clerk.
Is there a motion to approve the minutes of August 12th meeting?
So moved.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, Dennis, sorry, Dennis. John. Dennis
Motion
first.
support.
Dennis first, John
Yeah.
second.
Okay, thank you very much.
All in favor? Do we-
Aye.
Okay. Motion carries. Treasurer's report.
Okay, Treasurer's report as of August 29, 2014. Today's date is September 2nd, 2014. General accounts in the checking, $42,925. The savings, $158,754. Fire fund savings, $353,719. Library fund, $46,888. Light fund, $32,381. Liquor fund, $1,472. Donation fund, $1,508. Tax accounts, savings, $179,960. Checking, $3.62. Investment accounts, CD and securities, $77,652. Fire CDs, $124,910. Dedicated accounts, schoolhouse CD, $137,044. Township parking lot savings, $76,067. Hall renovation savings, $30,952.
Okay, can we just put those in the minutes? Okay, old business. First one is the Woodruff ramp. I guess follow-up is I took the petitions to Mike Roper the next day and accepted them. And we talked about the issues that you brought up at the meeting. The first issue about taking out the pole, he is going to take out the pole, but he doesn't care about the circle. But we as the township do not own that road. It's a road, and if any work is to be done to the circle, it will need to go back to the commissioners with a proposal. So there was discussion here about benches or something like that. He won't. He's sure they won't agree to anything, but the pole is coming out. So that's
no problem.
The concrete slab is made of a pre-made concrete slab. It is not going to be poured. It's going to be brought in there on a truck bed and with a whatever laid on the laid it into the area. If you put a dock, if they try to put a dock on that, it will weaken the concrete. And he doesn't know of any way to ensure that the concrete will be stable by adding anything to that concrete. And so he doesn't support putting the dock on the concrete slab, which after talking to him, and I talked to Dennis about this, who's an engineer, understands that, I think you totally agree, right?
Well, I'm thinking the slabs are pre-stressed concrete.
That's what he said.
And if they're pre-stressed, the reinforcing wires are actually put in the form and they're tensioned before the concrete's poured. Then when after the concrete is set, the ends of the wires are clipped and the wires actually pull the concrete in, and actually compresses the concrete from inside and adds great strength. And things like spandrel decks for shopping malls, things like that type of construction uses that technique. If you try to cut that, you will cut through those wires and you significantly weaken the slab itself because you've cut those wires. And that's what I'm sure what Mike is concerned about.
Okay, can I play devil's advocate? What we currently have, our slab down there is only 11 feet 4 inches wide. Okay, and the dock is 5 feet wide with a foot in between. So if you look at it right now, the dock is already pushed under the willow tree. If you add another 6 feet of width, the dock is going to be way under the willow tree. And when you back in, instead of being able to back in and